All right, I want to make sure that it's happening on the other side here. Okay, cool. We are live. Okay, dope. It's working. It's working. So, hello everybody. Thank you so much for pulling up to the Soul Sugar Joint. I'm Brooks, and I'm so excited for this interview, you guys. Not only because it's my very first live interview, but because of who I'm speaking with. And it just means so much to me to find new talent and to discover music that just like restores my hope in, live musicianship and real artistry and incredible songwriting, but it also means so much when it's coming from like the younger generation because I feel that way too, like being an old head, but like I'm literally 24, but the music that I listen to is like from yesteryear and 50 years older than I am. So it's just so encouraging whenever I find like people who get it. And I feel like this band gets it. I literally had like teary eyes listening to their album. And the album's only 8 songs. It's like so short, but it's just so good. It's very high level. And they're so young. And we're going to get into like who they are and their whole backstory and everything. But all that to say, this is MeloDious. I'm bringing them on. If you don't mind, please introduce yourselves.
All right, I'm Makaya. I'm 19 and I play keys.
I'm Matthias. I'm 17 and I play bass and guitar.
I'm Memphis. I'm 15 and I play drums.
And together, we're MeloDious.
Yay! Wow. Okay. So, can you guys just like tell me how you all got started into music? Was it a family thing or?
And okay, so I started piano when I was about 5. I was in gymnastics. I was trying to be a little athlete. Didn't really work out. Was not athletic. And my grandfather recognized that I had an ear for music at a very young age and encouraged my mom to put us in music. And so when he passed, I was around 4. And so she put us in music. I started piano. 2 years later, I believe.
No, 2 years later? Maybe like 3? 4? Even 4 years
later. I'm trying to do that. 4 years later.
It was 2.
Yeah. See, this is a little sibling element right now.
If you were 4 when you started piano.
Basically, Matthias started bass.
No, I started drums before Matthias started bass. Let's be honest. Like my musical seniority.
Okay.
I started drums at 4.
She started drums at 4. Matthias started bass at 6. We all kind of took individual private lessons, and then around 7 years ago, we had been singing at churches, like as the Dempsey. That's our last name, the Dempsey Trio. And we got hired by our great uncle for a gig in Sacramento. It was June 25th, 2016. And they were like, we need a group name. Like, are you guys a band? What is it? And my mom was like, we don't have one. And so she woke up early that morning and heard the birds outside singing and was like, this is so melodious. And boom. And all of our names are MD. So that's why it's a capital M and D, because all of our initials are M and our last name is D.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I was going to ask. I was like, how did you guys even come up with that name? Wow. I'm just like floored by so many things. But also, you said you started drums at 4 years old, Memphis?
Yes.
So how did you get into drums? Like, did you have like the little baby set and then they're like, oh, she's really good?
Well, I saw the drums first at church and it was the loudest thing. So I was like, that's it. That's it. But I started off by playing gospel and R&B drums, and then it slowly progressed into jazz, and then we all started playing together. So we just kind of ventured out into our own sound.
Okay. How about you, Matthias? Is that how you say your name?
Yes.
Okay. How did you get started with your instrument?
I started playing bass at 6. I had always wanted to play an instrument, preferably a stringed instrument. I always wanted to play guitar. So I saw her, she learned how to play piano first, and then I just went to the guitar shop one day and then tried to sign up for lessons. And I accidentally, since I was only 6, I didn't know what a bass was. But they asked me, did I want to play bass, learn how to play bass before playing guitar, because it would be helpful and like aid the process. And I said yes, because I thought it was guitar, but I accidentally signed up for the wrong instrument. And it's worked out. It's worked out great. I mean, I do both now, but bass has been my primary instrument. So yeah.
Okay, amazing. And how did the conversation go when you wanted to record an album?
Okay, So we've been in various programs for years out here. We're in the Bay Area. We're in Oakland, California. And so, we live in such a hub of music that throughout our lives, we wrote little things, kind of fiddled and diddly-daddled along in the songwriting kind of field. And then we were in the program Oaktown Jazz out here, which is a jazz program, and it helps keep jazz alive in our young musicians in the community. And so I'd say when we got into that program, we really started to get heavy in our writing, like lyrically, and then COVID hit. And then, we're in a house together during COVID. All we can do is write and play. And so the entire album, except for Breaking Out, the full song was written during COVID within like a 3-month time span. And then the beginning of COVID. And then we have no experience recording. We were like, we don't know where to go. And so we started recording the album last year, and we finished around this March. And so it's been an amazing process, just writing together, collaborating together, learning each other as artists, because I like to say we're 3 individual artists within a band. So we have a collective sound, but we also have kind of like, you can kind of hear who kind of writes what and lyrically, and if it's a more bassy song, then
So who, if you could describe like your individual sounds, like each of you,
like favorite artists,
or just because she was saying that like you guys have your own indistinct styles and you're all 3 separate artists.
Well,
so
I think because we all listen to different music, like we're all, it's kind of like you're getting the best of every world, because like we're bringing all these different singers, all these different musicians into one. So even when we perform, like not even just songwriting, when we perform, we're trying to like emulate like our own favorite artists and stuff.
For like an example, like, I love Stevie Wonder. I am a Stevie head. I could listen to Stevie and only Stevie until and I'm also big into Esperanza Spalding and Jacob Collier. And then Memphis is like,
I hear it. Like literally when I was listening to the album, I was like, okay, it's giving Esperanza Spalding. Like, especially wait, because where you taking it, like, okay, so there's a song on FLYE. Is that you like who's singing out, like aside from your brother's part, like the main like female vocal part?
That is me.
Okay, cool. Because it was giving that. It was also like I heard like Willow Smith a bit. Like I feel like she would really dig
Willow.
you guys.
Yeah. I love Willow. So she's amazing artist, musician, and so you'll hear a lot of that influence in my writing and how I structure my chord patterns. Like Is It the Way is very heavily Stevie, kind of Grass and Greener lyrically. I want to mirror Esperanza Spalding, and then you have like Memphis's artists.
Okay, my artist, I would say Tina Marie. Love Tina Marie. She's my favorite singer. I would listen to a lot of fusion and jazz, like Weather Report, which is Jaco Pastorius, Wayne Shorter, Jeff Lorber fusion, Gretchen Parlato. I really love a lot of experimental grooves and stuff like that, like you're hearing with Kendrick Scott's playing in. So
like Tina Marie is big with her. She grew up belting.
Michael Jackson.
Man. This is just so incredible to hear. Okay, keep going. Your turn.
Yeah, my favorite artist is The Weeknd. But I listen to a little bit of everything. I listen to Chris Stapleton. I listen to Michael Jackson. I listen to singers from the 70s to artists from today. So I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Yes. We're big on 70s.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Fire.
We have to acknowledge
Michael Brothers. All that. Look.
That's amazing. I keep saying that. Sorry, I need to find another adjective. But like, man, no, it's so refreshing to hear. And I mean, it's just like natural segue. How did you even get hip to all those different artists being so young?
Our parents. Our parents, from a very young age, exposed us to all different kinds of music, between gospel, rap, hip hop. We had a lot of jazz, a lot of classical, and so we were never, I would say, sheltered in the sense of like, this is the music you should listen to. We were privileged to listen and to experience all kinds of music, and so. And then between that, playing around a lot of musicians, they'll put you, that's, an amazing part of being a musician is they have amazing taste generally. And so it's like, oh, what's that song you played? Or like, oh, play this, you guys should sing this. And then we did a lot last summer at a record store, a local record store, Open Mind Music. We played and we bust out there, and the owners, Henry and Monica, just had great song suggestions and just putting us on to just constant music that we can add to our gigs, which also in return influenced our sound. And so a lot of old stuff we listened to.
Okay. And you were saying, sorry, you kind of cut out a bit, but I was wondering if you said that your parents were musicians?
No, they just exposed us to a lot of music.
Our mom's a singer.
Our mom,
she'll say she can't sing, but she can sing.
She can sing. Quiet as it's kept. That's so cool. So when did you know that music was like super important to each of you? Is it something that you like see yourself continuously pursuing in the future?
So I think we all have formed different relationships with music. So Memphis, you want to talk about maybe
okay, I would say that music really important to me was probably when we did start our band. I just realized like the importance and the value of it and how it brings people together. Like, I love playing music with my siblings, and it just is another way for us to connect and to keep building our relationships together, and it just brings us closer, in my opinion. But I've loved playing music. I would love to keep making music as long as possible with them or whoever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. Music for me, is I can see it being my career. I love music. I love working for artists, working with artists, producing, writing, all of that, playing it. And so I feel like us being siblings, we've learned each other, and we've learned and kind of locked how to work together, how to collaborate, but also give people creative control over their work. And so interesting fact is a lot of the songs in the album has a soul writer. So Fly, MeloDious is the soul writer for that. He did the bass.
Oh my gosh.
And then
Fly is the one. Fly is the one. Oh my gosh.
He's the one that surprised us, because during the writing process, we had more than 8 songs, right? But we ended up only going with 8 for this project because we felt like that was more of a fit. And so I was always just pushing, like, I'd have a song and I'd put it out and let people just eat. Memphis have a song, put it out. And MeloDious would be like, I have a song. And we'd be like, do you though? Because you never show anybody. And then he came one rehearsal and he had it all, like the whole package. And we were like, okay, this is the one. This is the one.
The thing about me was I don't like coming like with non-complete songs. Yeah. So basically, I just come in with the complete song. So just like from top to bottom, lyrics, music.
Right.
And then just build off of that.
Right. Yeah. And so then he'll come in and then we'll collaborate. So like all the end stuff, like the I feel like and the I'll come in and put that on. But then like at the end of the day, we allow him to make those decisions of, I want that, or I don't want to move in that direction. And so for every song on the album, like I think Memphis did all the instrumentals. She did both, etc., part 1 and 2. I did the instrumental violin to Breaking Out, Grass and Greenery is the Way. Memphis wrote Breaking Out at 9. Yeah. She wrote Breaking Out at 9.
So what was on your heart at that time? Like, you were 9 years old?
Breaking Out.
When she first wrote Breaking Out, she had a name for it. I think it was called like Homecoming.
Yeah, it was like she had a rap for Breaking Out.
What? No, no, that's a lie.
She can rap. She had a rap for Breaking Out. We used to do it live.
I cannot rap.
And so she brought Breaking Out. We all kind of collaborated. That was the original name for the album, would be Breaking Out.
Okay.
So that was, that's kind of like the first piece we had to this project. And so, like, when it comes to creatively, I think to answer your question, I see us doing music in even if it evolves in the future as we all take on individual pursuits. I feel like for us, the best part of it is just playing and recording and being a band together. And if that takes us somewhere, great. But if it doesn't, we have it, and like we can give it to whoever's around us. So
yeah. And I hear that. I think that's really what it was. Like when I was hearing the album for the first time and I just fell in love with it, I was just like, I just know that they're having so much fun. Like I can literally hear the joy in it. And that resonated with me. It wasn't even so much of just like, okay, yes, it is super high level and I can hear you all's influence of like these incredible like giants in it.
Right.
And your execution of it is incredible. And also just like, I think it's also the what is the gravity of like the lyrics and breaking out, and even in Grass Ain't Greener, like Grass Isn't Greener. But I'm like, man, this just like, it really was the feeling of, I know that they're just experimenting and they're doing everything that they want to do right now. Like there's just nothing holding them back. And it just felt very fearless and so free. And so it's just like such a gift. Like genuinely when I hear it, it just makes me feel so good hearing the album. And when I was I don't know, DMing one ago, was it you, Micaiah?
It was probably me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was okay, cool. Cause I was like, man, for you to tell me how young, I guess now Memphis was 9 years old writing that song. Like, are you into poetry? Like, do you write poetry, or how did you even write that?
It's honestly kind of funny because I do not like creative writing at all. Like that's the only song I've ever written with lyrics, because I was like, this is it, I'm done. Because I just didn't like it that much. I think it was like 30 minutes. Matthias was like, we're both gonna sit here, we're gonna write a song.
Yeah, I kind of like wanted to put her in a kind of speed up her little process. She was like writing like one line per
and then
week.
like
I was like, Memphis, just take 30 minutes and
Right.
just like
Just
So we
write it.
hashed it out.
she kind of just built the song just off that 30 minutes.
But
Okay.
yeah, I don't like really like, I'll throw my word in like there. I like every now and then, but I'm not really like a lyricist like them two.
Okay.
I think Memphis has a great gift.
I think she's
and
good
we're
at it.
gonna
She's good
we're
at
gonna
it.
unlock it more and more slowly over time. Let it cook and simmer a little, and then
Yeah.
she'll pop out.
I'm glad that y'all are, because I would like, have to talk to you.
Right.
Like, okay, no, don't try to do that, because you have it. Yeah,
Right.
you do.
Yeah.
But no, that is, and I'm just speechless. I just find it to be so incredible. And also it feels, when I think of family bands, like you had like the Silvers, the Jacksons.
Yes.
And so it's just interesting that I'm like, okay, cool. Like there's another one happening in this generation. They're just not, I don't see people playing instruments anymore, writing their own songs.
Right.
And yeah, like it's just not a thing. Do you all have like favorite family bands or anything like that?
Ooh. Like, I don't know. I feel like I love the Doobie Brothers. I don't know if they're all like related, but I do think like several of them are actually like, brothers. I don't think the Bee Gees are they? No.
The Jets.
The Jets are a good family band that we listen to. There's a local family band. The Isley Brothers, yes. And there's actually a local family band called the Curtis Family. They're so great. They're like really like 70s kind of thing. We love them. But we listen to a lot of just music. So, I love Stevie, and I will preach Stevie until I die. Like, that is, I think for me in writing, it's about making music that I don't feel like I made. Like, and it's a weird process. I want to be able to remove myself when I write. And so if I write a song and I'm like, this just feels like I wrote it, I just toss it. If I write a song, it's like, this is something that Stevie would do. Like, okay, yes.
What would Stevie do? Like, tell me that theory.
Okay, the theory behind. So for me, when I write, it's all about a good hook. If I have a good opening line and a good hook, that's all that matters. And I feel like Stevie has like a million amazing hooks. They just get stuck in your head, like, and even though you don't believe that they do things, like it's just the movement and just, I don't know. Stevie's music just makes you feel alive, and when I write music, I want people to feel alive in all emotions, in sadness, in happiness, and anger. I want them to feel present in whatever they're feeling emotionally, and so I feel like music can help you do that and achieve that in a way that words maybe can't, or visuals maybe can't. And so just Stevie, man.
Yeah, no, I hear you down. because I love Stevie. And I've talked about Stevie in probably like every interview because it just keeps coming back to that, because I feel like the core of his music is very jazz, like just like his chord progressions. And even when I had an interview with Flower Child, he talked about 2-5-1 chord progressions in his stuff. That makes it sound so like, but I didn't even know the science behind it. I just knew that like I felt like I was flying when I'm listening to it. So that's so incredible to hear, and like just really dope how you broke that down. Is there anything that any like favorite memories that you have during like the recording process of Is It the Way? And also, why did you name it that song?
Okay.
It was actually supposed to be called Breaking Out.
It was supposed to be called Breaking
Okay.
Out.
It was supposed to be Breaking Out. We switched it to Is It the Way because we felt like the name was more fitting for after we finished the entire process, what our journey had been. Just, is it this door? Do we record it this way? Okay, are we recording it at this time period? Like, there's so many questions and there's so many doors that have been opened and shut in our journey that have brought us to here, where we're at now. And so we feel like, you know, that'll constantly be a question as we go along. We'll never have the answer, but we'll always have each other. And so we can always ask the question and come to the conclusion together when we get there.
Well, that's it. Wow. Yeah, that is beautiful, because I wondered if it was because of the way that the song sounded or just like how you came to that name for the album. And that is your single, right? Or did you guys pick out a single?
We were supposed to, but it didn't end up happening this go round.
Okay, I'll tell you which one it should be.
There'll be a single. Yeah,
Okay. No, I was saying that I'll tell you guys which one it should be. It should be Fly.
That's the single, man. Favorite moments recording with Matthias, go.
Our favorite moment, my favorite moment was basically when we were going to the studio at the beginning of making the album. There was like this really small driveway that we had to park behind like the studio, and every day our car would be too big to park in it. So we'd have our studio engineer David Sines. He would come and he would maneuver like easily, where else both of my parents, they couldn't like quite maneuver it going down like the ramp. So yeah, that was probably
every
day for 10 days we would just get the car parked.
My favorite moments were probably the after parts. Like we started editing and then we took a little break because we were performing, but we got back in what was it, January, February. And it was like going to David's house every day. We were adding harmonies, Makaya. We were taking naps there. Like, it was honestly so fun, and it was such an enjoyable process because I think that's when the album really came to be what it was. Like, I would wake up, I'd be like, this wasn't in the song when I fell asleep. Makaya would be at the mic for hours. We were out there late nights.
That's probably my favorite part too. So we booked the studio for the first half of the album, like to get all this stuff in there, and then during our break we had so many creative ideas that David, our engineer, was just like, guys, let's just record the rest at our his home studio. And so his family would open up their home for us for like 10-hour days, 12-hour days, and we'd be in his garage. And he was so patient because I would come with so many ideas and I'd be like, David, this is how like we did so much changing. We did. If you could hear the demos for this album, no.
Please. Don't tempt me. I'll ask.
We buried them because these songs, they mean so, like Memphis Grass and Greener. She recorded that last year, like last February, came back this February and just redid everything. We added all the Grass and Greener vocals in like 2 hours in his garage.
The only thing that stayed the same with Grass and Greener was the piano and the
The
bass.
piano
But
and the bass.
everything else was new. Yeah.
So like
same with like Fly and Head Games. Those weren't the original drums at all.
Fly and Head Games.
We don't need to talk about the original.
If you could see Fly,
I'm imagining.
It almost didn't come together. Like the drums.
The drums on Head Games and Fly, they didn't quite. There was so many ideas going on that didn't originally quite work together. Right. So we ended up saving it in that period that they're talking about. So I'm just
okay.
Yeah, that was the money period where we all like we're like, okay, now we actually have to like put all our ideas,
put
and,
our
like,
ideas
attention and stuff into
cohesively.
it.
And I think we learned so much this process, as well as what's realistic in a recording environment, you know, how to make your songs translate from live to recording. Because, like, you know, it's great. Everything that's tracked is live. Everything. The vocals, piano, drums. Nothing is electronic except for, like, the MIDI keyboards or, like, the extra synth and processing. But for us, we're so used to live arrangements and live feelings that, you know, we were, like, playing and tracking. Okay,
What is this?
you know, my little drum. And then we get to singing and we're like, whoa, like, everything's so much faster. And it's like, you know, realistically, how to track together and work together. We learned a lot of. So
that's incredible, bro. Like, I'm just thinking about even hearing it live. Because I could hear it. I mean, I knew that all the instruments were live. You can feel it, you can hear it, and it's so refreshing. Just, you know, everything is so electronic right now.
right.
And yeah, I'm like, man, this is an incredible album recorded, but I know that it's not meant to be experienced just like as this MP3.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you all like performing together?
Yes.
Nice. What are like, what's been a really good performance for you all, like, so far?
So
We can talk about the documentary.
yeah, so more recently we did Yoshi's, which is a big performance venue here in the Bay, pretty historic. We saw Esperanza Spalding there in January with Fred Hirsch for their most recent project. We more recently saw Shantae Moore there. So like a lot of great names have been on the stage, and so we booked it. And we were so nervous. We had never like had to sell out a venue before, and like we sold out 20 minutes into our sound check, and we were like, oh, thank goodness. And
we had actually 8 people.
We had eight
over the sellout. Yeah.
8 over the limit. And so playing our live music there was just such an amazing experience, just to feel that energy coming back for people who had never heard it, for people who have heard it over the past year, because we couldn't help playing it, you know. We had to play it before it was released. And so I think for me, I prefer playing it live than recording. That's just me. I prefer playing it live.
Because I feel like most newer artists, they start their work in the studio. So when they come to live performing, it's like a huge thing to them. But I think since we've started with live performing,
right.
it's just like live performing is always going to be number one because we've been doing it for so long.
And the arrangements can be different. You can do so much more. Like we can go in from Michael Jackson into this and to like mix the songs together. And so, yeah.
We just spend time building set lists. We mix our original songs with great classics with some songs we really like. So yeah, it's a really fun creative process.
Okay, so what did you guys?
Dropping.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay, cool. I'm glad that you're plugging that. When is it coming out? When is the documentary coming
out? Our documentary is dropping Friday in 2 parts. So it's like the lead up to Yoshi's behind the scenes and then the actual performance, which I'm so excited for people to see. And there's like, we played some unreleased music in there as well. Like the opening song for that is unreleased. And then like the song Before Fly is unreleased. After Fly is unreleased. And so super excited for people to hear that before we begin recording that and like putting that out as well. So
yes, because it's coming in 2 parts, right? Is it the way it's?
Yes.
This was just volume 1.
This is just volume 1.
Okay, and everything is already recorded, or did you record everything at once and you're just like split it down the middle?
Well, we know the songs. They're already written. We just have to go in and record them.
Oh, okay.
For volume 2, yeah.
Is it like an exciting process or?
Yeah. I'm more excited for volume 2 than volume 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're gonna see a major jump in volume 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, literally the last song was like an earthquake. It was like, okay, like what is about to happen?
And the last song is like leading into the first song of volume 2.
Okay. Yes, because the transitions are so good in this album. I mean, I really wouldn't expect anything else. Like,
we're so glad you did that.
Man, no, like the prelude to Breaking Out into Breaking Out was seamless. And then like how the end of Breaking Out kind of has like this old radio and then it gets into like the doo-wop of like, is it the way? And I was like, I really understood the whole world you guys are building. And yeah, Head Games is so fun. I'm like looking at the track list right now because I kind of just want to like talk through them because some people, they might not actually listen to this.
Right.
They might not have heard it. They might just like, be like, okay, who are they? Da, da, da.
Right.
But anyways, let's like go track by track. So Prelude to Breaking Out, strings is giving classical. Can we talk about where the inspiration behind that came from?
So
I really wanted a
you're
prelude.
dumb.
I'm just saying, I told you.
It is.
It's on
No,
her.
I wasn't gonna say I did anything. I was just gonna say I came up with I wanted a prelude.
Yeah, you
She
did.
did.
She was like,
What
I got
Memphis
this.
did though
I
was
got
wait
this.
an entire week. Memphis waited a week. I asked her before we went to the studio, do you want a prelude so I could start working on it? I don't really know. We're the night before. We have the violinist come in to record the parts. And she's like, I think I want a prelude. And I'm like, really? So I was up all night. I wrote down all these parts, and we had an amazing violinist, Hannah Glass, just so amazing. She came in and recorded all the parts, all of them.
Wow.
And then Matthias came in on the double bass, the stand-up, and recorded like the low end, and then so that was like a good 4 or 5 hour session of her just recording those parts over and over. And then we waited a year, and then this year I was like, it needs vocals, you know, like to kind of help widen like the scope of the song. And so we had those vocals, and we added them in his basement. And then so yeah, Memphis had the amazing idea to do like an intro to that, and I really want to get into film scoring. And so for me it was like yes. And so yeah, that was kind of the story behind that.
Okay, I'm so happy to hear that you want to get into scoring, because look, I also didn't say this. So the very first time that I heard the album, I of course couldn't keep it to myself. I posted about it, but then I was headed to an Alicia Keys concert the exact same day, and so I went with my auntie and my little cousin, and I was playing it for them when we were headed there, and they're like, "What? This is crazy." Then when I came home, I like sat down with my dad, and I was like, "No, we need to sit down and listen to this whole album together." And he said that you definitely, like, whoever was composing or arranging it, or like if it was all of you guys, like something needs to happen with film scoring and doing things for movies, because I hear it too. Like it's just it's visual. Like I see it. I feel like
And that
it's
is
just
what
gorgeous.
I do. That is what
Mhm.
I want to score for any movie. For me is happy, but I would love to get into just scoring. Just I love emotions. I love
If
I
you
don't know.
walk into her room at night, you'll hear a score playing. Whether it's
Seriously? Okay, wait, what's a really good... Sorry, I'm excited. I was just wondering, like, what is your favorite film score?
Ooh. So I have so many. I love a good horror movie score. I think Michael Abels is an African American composer who does the soundtracks for Jordan Peele. And so if you listen to a lot of them, just how he came up with them is really interesting. I love the How to Train Your Dragon score by John Powell. Listen, hear me out. I know, but it's so well constructed. Like I think he was nominated for several Emmys for that. So what another
You like
score?
the Jurassic World score?
I love the Jurassic. You know, we love the Jurassic. I like recognizable themes. You know, Marvel, all that's great. But I'm really big into like the horror sounds and Mark Corbin and like, you know, just this like they get a little scared walking in my room.
No, like you walk in, it's like what are you doing?
She's like, yes. Like,
Yeah, she's like, yes.
It's that high violin, like. Yeah. But man, I think for that it was that, and I think what really brought everything together for that track was the mastering. We were so grateful. We had Michael Romanowski, amazing mastering engineer, very well known in the industry. He took on our project, and we had the privilege of going to his house while he was mastering it, and he has like this whole setup. And I think in that moment, the album turned from tracks into like a project. Just how he was able to like get the volumes right and like, am I going hoarse? Whoa. Get the volumes right and the transitions, like the transition from Breaking Out to the prelude to Breaking Out, which is so important for me to be right, and he just got it right. Like it just he just nailed it. So it's just amazing to have him on the project.
I agree. He did nail it, because going into Breaking Out, you said, yeah, you wrote it. Memphis wrote it at 9 years old. And that song, I think what I noticed like early on was just like the choices for the chord progressions. And so how did that come to be, like the production part of it?
The chord choices, honestly, that's really interesting because those weren't my original chord changes. I think instead of it was going to I think my bass line went down instead of going up, and Matthias was like, no, this is like bad, like go up.
Whoa, I never said that. Look.
I think he kind of just gave me a look and was like,
He kind of like took the charge
Jaws.
and
the song sounds like Jaws, honestly, because it's like a half
Jaws.
step.
And so Matthias made that executive decision to like move it up, so to give the song more movement and like a boom 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 boom, and then so that was Matthias.
That was Matthias. That was
Nice.
not me at all.
But Memphis did like everything else, from like the drums, the verses. The verse. Like, she doesn't give herself enough props, but like she musically is amazing. Like her mind and how she puts stuff together.
Yes.
And so yeah, she's just
Thank you
great.
so much.
Yeah.
Aw. So how did that the chord change, and you said writing, and I'm not a musician, but I'm just wondering, were you guys like actually like writing these songs down, or was it like, oh, we remember and we recorded so much?
Well, I think it depends. Sometimes we just know it, and she'll like be like, I don't need to like record it because what's the thing you always used to tell me?
If they can't remember it by the morning,
It wasn't worth it.
It wasn't
Like,
worth it.
if I
She used to tell me
can't
that,
wake up
like-
singing my own hook, then I'm not moving forward with that. And so, like, for all these songs, we woke up and it was like,
it's
yeah.
still there.
It's still there. And like over time, you know, obviously there's been like it's evolved and it's like developed more. But there's always been that core idea that's always stuck. Like, or there's the hook, or it's the what's that? You know, like those things, they stick with you, and then you wake up singing them, or you're up at 3 a.m, you're like, oh, that's the other part. Like, you know, just that's kind of how the process goes. But for recording purposes, when we got into the studio, we did end up writing a lot of this out. Like, I have the sheet music for the prelude, for like the guitar charts, and we brought the guitarist in. Like, you know, that's where more of the writing would come in. But yeah, in general, we just bring an idea, and everybody kind of just is on their instrument doing their own thing to it. And it comes to be. But yeah.
Okay. And then is it the way? Was that different in its process, or like do each of these songs kind of have their own story?
So Is It the Way, we were actually, fun story, we were misplaced from our home January. So like beginning of COVID, we did not have a house. we were couch hopping, and like it was like we were laughing about it, but it was really rough. And so
Man.
our house, like we had some issues with it flooded. Like,
oh no.
All the bathrooms flooded, so we had no bathrooms.
And so we were like, okay, we're out of our house for 6 months, and I have this big, huge keyboard. And so I was in a rental one night, and I had it plugged in, and I wasn't even listening to Stevie. Like, I was like on a Stevie break when I wrote the song.
We put her on Stevie break.
They put me on
Everything she sung, like before, like the months before, everything was sounding like Stevie. So we were like, all right, we need to like back on Stevie.
So I pulled back purposely, like just to give myself a break and discover kind of my own sound as an artist. And I was up, and I was just thinking of the storyline, like, you know how a man will sometimes cheat on a woman, and like they don't understand, they can't see the gravity of what they've done. And I was like, what if I flip that? You know, just so like because it always feels more exaggerated when it's coming from the other perspective. And so I was like, this song is kind of like a girl and a guy kind of knows what she's doing, but like he doesn't want to leave her because he loves her. And she's like, you know who I am. Like, why won't you just go? Like, I'm showing you who I am again and again and again, and you're just allowing me to do these things to you. And so really heavy concept. And I was like, you know what? Let me just make some Stevie. And so I snuck a little Stevie, and I kind of just came up with the piano. And then a week later, I came up with the bass line. And then a week later, Memphis kind of got on the drums. And then we kind of had the song.
My favorite part of Is It the Way is that drum intro. It was like the dun dun dun
Dun,
dun
dun, 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 dun.
It's just really like recognizable, I think, honestly. Like,
and it was,
you did your thing.
It was super important for her to have that intro too, because I feel like like we have a bass intro song, we have Grassland and Greener, so we need like a drum intro. And so that was her. And it was originally longer, but our engineer's wife was like, it's kind of long. So we kind of like, you know, cut it short. And that's why we were so grateful to have that feedback during this entire process of everybody saying like kind of what they thought to help us put a project out that not only that we were able to resonate with, but the people were able to resonate with as well. And so that was super important. And then the ooh-ups. Memphis is so mad at me because the last day.
Not her face though.
Oh yeah, she got a shot.
I'm kind of salty about that. Like,
So,
I'm not gonna lie.
Matthias and I, we had one song left. Was this finishing up Fly?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they
we were
left.
finishing up
No.
Fly,
First of
like,
all, they
she was
left
speeding it
without
up.
me for the last day. I was like, all right, I'm already kind of
She
mad
was
about
sleeping. She slept. She was knocked out.
Exactly.
And if you wake up the drummer, they're very grumpy. So we want to let the drummer sleep. And so Matthias and I had gone to the engineer's house for the last day, finishing all the mixes. And I started Is It the Way just to like tweak the timing a bit. We wanted to speed it up. And then my engineer and I were like, do you hear that? And we're like, ooh, up. On the chorus, ooh, up, ooh, up. And so we put out a mic, recorded it in an hour. I took the bounce home and I played it for Memphis.
No, you didn't play it. I was cleaning and she sent me the bounces. I was like, oh, cool, final bounces. We get to Is It the Way? I'm sweeping out. Here is ooh. I'm like, oh, what is that? Ooh. I was like, wait a minute. So I run straight to Makai's door. I'm banging like, what is wrong with you?
Like, how did you have that without me? I wanted to be there. And so I think that's the most fun about this project is that we had this space to kind of just surprise ourselves and just boom, throw it in there and see what happens. So that is the way.
That's Is It the Way.
And because when you were talking about the lyrical content, I was like, man, this is like super mature, and it reminds me of kind of how people were saying like Michael Jackson with how when he was so little singing like Who's Loving You and like all these very mature like content, and it just I thought that was so interesting, and it's a credit to your songwriting that it came across that it didn't come off inauthentic. Number 4, head games. So I love this one. It feels very like beachy and like West Coast funk. So speak to it.
Well, that's basically. I wanted to make something that was fun. The lyrics aren't really deep or anything. I just wanted it to be like a simple song that people could just listen to and enjoy both vocally and musically, because they got the harmonies in there. Then they got all the guitar, the old school funk elements, the guitar, the drums, a whole bunch of different types of synths, piano, everything. It has everything. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's really fun, and like I know that you all consider yourself a very eclectic soulful band.
Sounding, yeah.
Yeah. Say it. You say it.
Eclectic soulful sound experience.
Yes, all of that. And that's why I was like, man, the versatility, like just very multifaceted because.
Oh, I was gonna say, and I feel like that's also one of the reasons why it was named Is It the Way, because we just wanted to like give people a different variety of songs. We have a ballad, we have like a soul song, we have like a funk song, we have like a love song, we have like a classical like like
So it's like a fusion.
A fusion, yes.
And what Matthias is not telling you about head games is that song, there's so many layers. If you could open the session, like you know how Jacob opens sessions and like it's like, oh, this is how I did this over here and like that. Like Matthias should do that with the song because there's so many little things that he was so adamant about having in there. I'd be like, bro, do we need this? And he'd be like, yes. And like obviously at the end of the day, it needed all of it because it all came together so well. He made the executive decision. The second day of the studio to switch her drum line. We had practiced for months a completely different drum line, and we got there and he was like, no, it needs something else. We were like,
yeah, I was kind of the bad guy. Yeah, but I mean, it all worked out.
We opened a can of soda when he says,
Sprite. Can you have a Sprite?
The pressure when I opened that can of soda was honestly kind of crazy. They're like, you didn't open it right. So I was like, oh my goodness. Also, we didn't open a can of Sprite.
We opened a Coke. So he's a fraud.
No, that was
He
that
opened
was
a
supposed to be a
book.
sealed story. That was supposed to be a sealed story.
You're supposed to be to our grave.
A
We
good
were,
news
we were
exclusive.
doing so good. We were like 15 months in, and that story
You
never
never
been told.
hear it. And then he didn't open a Sprite. He opened a Coke.
It took like probably 2 cans.
Two
Two
cans of Coke.
The first one, she was a little early. I was like, you opened it too early.
How do you open
So
up-
then we got another. We bought another one just for her to do it.
That's hilarious. I'm like, I have to listen to it again way closer because I'm like, okay, Foley, like getting into all of that.
Homemade
Yeah.
Foley.
And then getting into a complete like vibe shift, going left into Grass Ain't Greener, but in the best way. Like that song sat me down. Like, like the lyrics, the feeling behind it. It's written and like it sounds like a standard. Like you know how like back in the day when there would be One Day in Your Life.
Right.
By like Michael Jackson did it. I don't know if maybe the Carpenters did it too, but like everybody sang that one song. Like I feel like that's a song that like so many people could cover. Like Layla Hathaway, I would love to hear her voice on that. Like it would be incredible.
That would be amazing. Like,
But yeah, just get into the
Start
process.
making remix plots.
Yes, like it's just beautifully written, and it's like it's literally evergreen. Like because everybody can understand that experience of comparison, how it kills, and even getting to the end of getting everything that you wanted, and is it worth it?
Right.
Like it makes so much sense.
this
So
song,
yeah,
I did not want to be on the album. Actually, when I first wrote it,
right.
I can be very perfectionist at times and very picky about my work. And so I wrote this song like 30 minutes. And I wrote it at like 3 a.m. I woke up and we had been talking about something at dinner, a situation that we were like, oh yeah, like, just learning to enjoy little moments in life instead of focusing on the big, because you'll miss out on what could be the big if you make it like, making little moments in your day big. And so I wrote it and I was like, it just happened, and then I was like, I don't want to sing it. And then I was in practice one day and I forced Memphis to sing it. I'll never forget that rehearsal because Memphis opened her mouth and I was like, it's going on the project. It's going to be on the project.
So that's funny that she says that. She was going to sing it. She just didn't want to lower the key.
No. She's trying to pawn off to my laziness. That's not that. She had a voice and she opened her mouth. And my mom will tell you, we'll talk about this take. Second take that we did of this in the studio, we hated it. But the raw motion, because our engineer had just do a practice take. And
I had just woken up and I was taking a nap. I was enjoying it. I wasn't really even happy to be recording.
Memphis shit. My mom, you hear her yelling in the room. Day 2
What'd she say?
recording. That's the recording that we all realized, like, this is Memphis's Adele song. Like, this is just that song that she can sing. And so she just delivers it. Look, she'll tell you. Day 2.
No.
Day
Do not listen to day 2.
Day 2. No, we won't listen to it for Memphis's sake.
Never
And we
listen
ended up
to day
recording
2.
it so she felt comfortable with the vocals that she's putting out into the world. But for me, I really want the song to be open, to feel open with all the vocals, all that. We had so much fun adding those vocals. I was literally just like putting a line down, putting a second line down, putting a third one. And so I think we've all grown to love this song, and I think it's taught me that your work doesn't have to like take you through this ridiculous journey to be worth something. Like, you can do something and it can come easily to you, it can come hard to you, but being proud of whatever you put out is what's most important, no matter how that came to be. And so I feel like that's what I learned through writing Grass Ain't Greener. Is like, it'll touch somebody, it'll help somebody through their experiences and their journey, and that's what was most important to me.
And I'm learning that too. Like that's a beautiful sentiment. Like it doesn't have to be hard. Like it can come easy,
Right.
And it doesn't make it any less valuable. If anything, it's just like it feels that much more like a gift.
Right.
Like here it is. Like you just be the vessel to put this out. Like it's just
Right.
as easy as it comes in that way. And I didn't even know that it was Memphis's voice. So like, could we get some differentiation on like who's singing what? because I guess I don't know whose voice sounds like what because I haven't like seen you all live.
Yeah.
Right.
But so it's Memphis singing on Grass and
Memphis
Greener.
is singing
Yes,
Grass and
that's
Greener.
me.
Memphis sings
So
Grass
beautiful.
She leads Grass and Greener. All the backing vocals is a mixture of like mostly all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis sings the first verse of Breaking Out.
No, I don't. No, you sing the first verse of Breaking Out. I'm so wrong. I'm sorry. I sing at the end of the second verse, like that. Let it come from us. That part. That's
She sings the bridge of Head Games.
Yes,
That's Memphis.
That's
Okay.
Memphis.
I
I sing Fly with Matthias. Let's just be Matthias.
Is it the way?
Is it the way is me and
And
their backing vocals?
Yeah.
And Matthias sings the second verse.
Okay.
So kind of like a mixture. We just kind of threw whatever key fit. We just threw a voice.
It works out because y'all can all sing. Like I bet that was just like made it so easy. Everybody can hold a tune. Yes. And then number 6, Fly. I mean, I feel like we talked about it, but
Fly,
if there's anything
fly,
else.
fly.
I don't know. I just wrote it about. TikTok inspired me to write that one.
Yeah, TikTok is right.
Yeah, TikTok.
Dive a little deeper. What do you mean by that?
I don't know. It was just. I think it was like some random. It was a random video,
Okay.
and I forget what since it was 3 years ago. I forget what the exact video was, but it was something that like sparked the idea of okay, I gotta write this.
Mm-hmm.
So
honestly, okay, I'll tell you something.
It was probably like, what would you say to like pick up somebody, like relationship,
like pick up lines?
Like
what
Riz.
would you say to pick up somebody?
Fly
I was
is
like,
a
I feel
Riz
like
song.
you're everything. So I mean,
Fly
like,
is a Riz
it's
song.
Fly is a Riz
It's a
song.
Riz song, yeah.
It is, because man, that song is so sweet. Like I really like the lyrics in it, and I love how, of course, the ending, like how it just like goes into this other dimension. But like I love that song because even just the kind of like the slang of it. Like I feel like you're everything. Like that's something that I feel like our generation understands. Like to call somebody like you're everything. Like girl,
Right.
you're everything. That outfit is everything, but
It's
like
everything.
in a romantic sense. Yeah.
So and then there's 3 different guitarists on that song. So like there's
Oh.
like he really went all out with the production of it. Like for his 2 songs, so Head Games and Fly, he was maniacal about those songs. Like every element that was added, even if it was like a bar that we used, it was being used. Like everything like was being used, recycled.
So basically, originally, before we came back to finish the songs, like I said, where we all had to like put our attention and stuff, it was just basically like a whole bunch of scattered puzzle pieces. So I had to figure out a place for everything, and I feel like we all had to just, for each of our songs, figure out a place for everything and make it all fit in like a cohesive manner. And so yeah.
Okay.
He's a
Yeah.
mastermind at putting together puzzles. This guy
Yeah.
puts puzzles together.
Do I really know? Do I really need to get a
I love the feeling of that song. Like it feels like it's just like a breeze like rushes into the room. Like it just like shifts everything when you play it. Like so great job. Great job. And then etc. This jam session. We don't get enough of those. So how did that came to be?
Okay, so etc. Funny thing about that song is I wrote the piano and Micaiah wrote the drums.
So we swapped instruments.
We swapped instruments
What?
for that song. And I came up with a name. I don't remember what it was supposed to be called. I was like, blah, 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 etc. We're just going to write that down. I was like, yo, that's a great name. Micaiah wrote etc. for the song because it was just there. So I was like, yo, that's a song name.
That's a
I
song
thought
name.
she was being intentional about it. I was like, yo, that's great. Another thing that people don't know about etc. is that I didn't actually play the drums on the first part of etc. Another drummer named Leo Warnick, he came over to our house to jam.
Leo's great.
Leo's a
Love
great
Leo.
drummer. He's a Bay Area drummer, and he came over to our house to jam. And I was like, yo, how would you play etc.? And so he gets on, he plays a song. I'm like, I can't even play the song anymore. Like, you need to play it. So he comes to Hyatt Street, we record it. I recorded etc. part 2, but etc. originally had a bunch of different solos, no synth, it was just piano, like none of that, no guitar. It was really bare,
really
bare, really stripped down. And so that was where the garage era.
The garage
The
era.
garage era. Matthias recorded on the guitar. Makaya added the synths. There was no guitar solo, no synth solo. That was all added on afterwards. But
You know how Taylor Swift has like her eras tour?
Eras
Like,
tour.
Melodious means like eras, like studio era, summer era, garage era.
But it's really interesting that you all bring up that garage, because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you guys are in your garage jamming. It feels so organic. And that was not even my own sentiment. Like my dad felt the same way too. Like he was like, man, it sounds like there's jamming in their garage. So
But we're actually, I don't know if you can see, but we're in our music room now. We're sitting like in front of the drums.
oh my gosh,
And then,
no.
like, the keyboard and like his guitars, and then like there's another drum set and a piano over there behind like the monitor, or like, yeah. So this is kind of like the garage. Like the garage is a room, but
Oh, that's the garage.
it's a nice room though. I'm trying to get the key back right. My bad. There you go.
No, you're good. You're good.
But yeah, that was really it with etc. I did the wah pedal. You can hear me, pushing my foot down. I did that pattern. That was pretty much it, honestly. It was just the song spur of the moment, kind of.
Melodious Mama in the chat said, didn't I come up with the name for etc.?
Oh. This a no comment.
Our mother came up with a lot of stuff for the project, so we're just gonna give her a blanket of praise because she did a lot behind the scenes.
Go Melodious.
Both her and our dad, Melodious
Yes.
Papa.
No, don't say that. Don't say
But
that.
our father and our mother, they did a lot of amazing behind the scenes stuff. And then part 2 of etc. we actually made like an hour before our studio time was up.
We had 1 hour left. We were like, we're done with all the other songs. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
That was an in-studio creation. That's
Yes,
what it
that
was,
was
an
in studio creation, spur of the moment. I got on the
Man.
drums. Makaya played that. And then after we muted the piano, I was holding my hands down
On the strings.
string so that it sounded muted. And then after, I was dragging with the. That's
We're
what
dragging.
you hear, the piano strings. You hear the triangles, hand drums. The 808 was made by a hand drum pitched down really low.
Wow.
I'm trying to think what else.
A lot of
Me and
it's-
Makaya, we were going back and forth with the mics. It sounded like we're like moving around. If you listen to etc., it sounds like it's moving around your head.
And
Mhm.
a circular versus like panning. We wanted it to feel really immersive as possible. This is before we
Dolby.
knew about Dolby, like the immersive. Like,
Oh yeah,
audio.
yeah.
So before we had a knowledge of that, we were just like moving in a circle around the mic.
We were like,
That's so cool though.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool though. That's a dope visual. Like you guys did whatever it took. Whatever it takes.
They were standing like you guys was like standing far back from the mic and
Yeah.
like rotating like where you would stand. Yeah.
It was just crazy, and like that was
It
etc.
was crazy, and all those other harmonies came as an actor. The garage era. The garage era. That's where all those wonderful harmonies that you hear came to be because it was.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it was doing a lot before the garage era. I'm just gonna say that.
The garage era for us was really the era where we really put teamwork into play. And I'll say, like, being a band, even though we had been a band for 6 years at that time, we were still treating it like siblings, and like we didn't know how to work together as siblings and not allow like, oh, well, I have this opinion of the song. Oh, well, I know it's like my song, but I have like an idea, like, like how to work with each other respectfully and work with each other in a way where everybody felt heard. And so I feel like the garage era was that for us. Like 12-hour days, nobody really felt like arguing. So we
David
learned-
was there. We didn't want David to think we were like crazy or something
Right.
because we all like.
And huge shout out to
Mhm.
David. David is the engineer for this project. He's the first engineer to ever work with us. A lot of people will say, oh, I want to work with you guys. Oh, I want to do this. And David actually followed through with us and recorded our project and went the extra mile, put hours into it when we were tired. Broke up a lot of our fights with like classical music, just amazing personality, hard worker. And so the project would not be here without David. And so we have like David, when you see this, we love you, David. Like, don't cry, man, but we love you. But yeah, so I think the garage era for us is when the album began to feel like ours. We went from demos to like, okay, we're putting stuff together. This is our actual song. Like this is our music. And like there's a sense of pride that came with that. Like, wow. Like, you know, like 3 kids from Oakland. Yeah. In a garage right now.
It's really
flying by.
It's really like, yeah, I love to hear these stories about how you made them, because I just always like, as a really curious listener of music, and I love like dive deep, I'm always like, man, I just wonder what the sessions were like or how it came to be. So yeah, shout out to David, shout out to your engineer, because it's produced so well. And that's why I didn't know if it had been out for such a long time, or like if this was your first project or not. I didn't have any clue, because it doesn't sound like a first project. Just because it doesn't sound like, oh, something needs to be mixed, or like it just like the quality of like the vocals and the quality of the effects, and even like the instruments, it all is really high level. And then you get into the high level, like the musicality, and that's what I was just like, it just blew me out the water that it's like you guys are prodigies. So yeah, it really is super cool. You're welcome. Like, I really am.
First interview. Like, this is
oh,
crazy.
really?
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow.
You're so welcome. Oh my gosh, no, thank you. I really am gushing. Like, I feel like I'm just doing the most because I love when people are like really talented and like they really love it and they're doing it for the right reasons. And so that's why I was like, man, we have to put something together. And I'm glad that the enthusiasm was matched.
Oh, yay. This is so much. Thank you. Like,
yeah, of course. And it's like, now we're kind of getting to the end of it. But I didn't see too many questions. It just seems like you have a lot of fans. Everybody's like so happy to be here watching this interview. But I'm trying to see if anybody had any questions for MeloDious before this is, because it went by so fast.
It really did. Like, it's just so much fun just talking about it.
I know. I'm like, man, I just want to talk to you guys anyways. So. But somebody brought up Steve Lacy. Said Micaiah loves Steve Lacy.
I do love Steve Lacy. We
love
love Steve. And it's so cool how Steve Lacy also came from a band and like came out of that and like established his own style, but like still maintained that the internet sound. Like, it's just, yeah, he's so cool. We saw him we love award shows. We love the Grammys. We love, like, you know, just watching the performances. We're like, one day, you know, it'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But he did, I think, the Grammys. Did he do the Grammys?
He did.
Yeah,
the
he
Grammys
did.
With Thundercat.
Oh, and he ate that.
Gosh.
I was like, okay, Steve.
You can.
Silk Sonic. Sonic. We love Silk Sonic. When I tell you, so
basically, I put them on the Anderson.
He put them on Anderson.
And we've all been. We can honestly say we've been lifelong Bruno Mars.
Lifelong.
So like since we were like little kids, like 2000.
Okay.
2000.
Like,
yeah.
So when they came together, mind blown for one. But when I tell you that project was like literally on our house 24 hours, I mean, it did not go off. It did not go off. And it was perfect timing too for our project, because it's like, okay, you know, like the drums on.
It's okay.
The drums on like the head game chorus, you can kind of hear that. What is it?
No, not that. It's not that.
No.
Okay. Memphis would like to keep that sealed information, but they didn't keep the Coke can thing sealed information.
So we're not gonna keep our drums sealed.
She was basically influenced by like the intro for Silk Sonic's album. She was influenced a little bit by that one.
If you listen to the intro, you can listen to the Bridge of Head Games. You can kind of hear it.
Some
Do that
similarities.
afterwards, after we're gone, and like disappear from the map.
But it was so funny because in the studio, like, she realized she did it and her head shot up and she was like, oh! Like, I just did it.
I'm sorry, Anderson. I'm sorry. Don't sue me.
I love to hear that. Like, Anderson .Paak is one of my favorites. Like, when I found him, it was just over. Like, as an old soul, as somebody who loves like James Brown and, you know, Clyde Stubblefield as a drummer on a lot of his stuff, like I just knew that Anderson .Paak, he's in a game all on his own. Seeing him link up with Bruno Mars, that was like paradigm shift.
I did
I'm
not
happy to be alive right now.
When I tell you I was never more present than when I saw that Instagram like announcement. Like I was like, I'm alive right here, right now.
I know. I'm here for this.
It was so incredible. Oh, okay, cool. We got some questions. So people asking him, where can I see you live?
Okay, we are based in Oakland, so Bay Area for now. We're hoping to eventually begin traveling to play our music. We would love to travel, hit up, different spots, different like HBCUs would be amazing. Like to do an HBCU tour, that would be great. So definitely between this project and the next project, we do hope to get money together and travel and just, just play like anywhere. I ideally like someplace I would love to perform is NPR. Like that's my dream is to do a Tiny Desk. But everybody has to be 18 for Tiny Desk. Maybe they'll make an exception. I don't know.
2.5 years.
Maybe get a TikTok trend going. Let MeloDious play NPR.
Right.
But NPR definitely, and just really, I would love to be in New York and just in the South because I feel like all those states are really close. So you can just drive, like hit up different cities like Louisiana and New Orleans and so anywhere like near that would be amazing.
Dope. Yeah, the people need to see you. MeloDious Mama said, when is the first video, the tour?
Okay, so I actually have a question for the people. What video for what song do you want to see have a video first?
Right.
Like, I feel like the most like obvious option is like Fly.
I mean,
yeah. Okay. Fly. We already have some concept.
We had a really interesting concept idea. So I've taken sign language. I've been taking it for 10 years. So I love the idea of like how Coldplay is very much in tune with their deaf fan base and just how amazing we are able to accommodate that and just like I don't know, just be in touch with that. And so it'd be really interesting. We want to go to Washington DC and do a video with Gallaudet students. That would be like a dream, the deaf university in America. And so just to bring that audience in and let them know like, that they can enjoy our music as well in whatever capacity that they can and may, and that we're just very open to that. So that is one. And then somebody said etc.
I'm
okay. Let's do it. I'm down. Let's do really
maybe like a live music video.
That would be cool.
Etc. would be so cool. I imagine that.
With like a shaker or something. Play some drums.
No, because when it's like Etc. Part 2, I definitely got like SZA vibes from that one.
Yeah.
Like that one part where it was like bright ideas. We got bright ideas.
Yeah.
Like that's what it reminded me of when I first heard it. Like it feels very like in nature.
Wow. Okay.
We already have like.
So basically, what we need everybody to do is find a venue near them, tell them MeloDious needs to play here, and then we'll come play.
Okay. No, seriously, I feel that so heavy. That's hilarious. Yes, we need to do that. My mom asked, where do they plan to study? So like school or whatever.
Okay. So very funny. I've been in a program at a local college since my senior year of high school that I graduate from this December. And I've been studying music production and kind of screen scoring. And so my hope from here on out is to jump into the industry head on, just get into some projects, really start reaching out to directors, because I feel like for the music industry, at least for my career goals, it's more about who you know, how people resonate with you, and how they feel about your energy and your personality. And so I feel like building relationships and connections is most important. And so I graduate from that this fall, and it's been a 2-year program, so I'm super excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're just so cool. Like, mind you talked about knowing sign language just for 10 years. That's really cool. So cool. How about everybody else?
Okay. So the hope is I want really like my dream university is to get into MIT and double major in earth and planetary sciences and physics. To be
she's cool.
No, she's so smart. Brilliant.
She's brilliant.
She's really smart too. Don't
No,
she's
it's
really
cool.
she's,
I want you to be.
yes, astrophysics. I really want to pursue research science and space travel and helping like to progress that type of thing and tracking solar bodies. So that is the lifelong goal, and to also teach, whether like it be on a board of educators, just to give back to the community that gave to me.
And MIT is close to Berkeley, so she can go jam.
Yeah, I can go jam with the Berkeley students.
Period.
Let
Yes.
me swing with you.
And then as for me, I two things I'm very interested in is forensics. I've been interested in forensics for years. I feel like it's really useful and helpful to a lot of people, and also political science. So basically, from music to political science to forensics, everything is about helping people. Like music can give people stuff to help them through their hard times and stuff. Forensics can help solve problems, and political science can just help further expand and better things. So I want to study those basically. Yeah.
Man, I love how you all are just like so diverse in your thought, but then how it translates into the music that you make.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I stand.
Sing before you go. She did so funny. Let's do Baby Come Back.
No.
We have not sung Baby Come Back in a while.
She said.
So fun story. No. He's so adamant. So we have a song that we have done every gig since I think we mentioned Open My Music, and she's yelling. She's yelling no. But we're gonna do both. How about we do two? We'll do two. We'll do little snippets. I need to make it like a verse. No.
We haven't done that.
Okay, so this is the funny thing about being a sibling band is like singing. Right? Like we do it all the time, but every time we get here, it's always something. She said not Baby Come Back. We've done that song a million times. Player, the band, like it's like a yacht rock kind of song. We love that song.
I love yacht rock.
Yacht rock is crazy. I love it. Okay,
yes.
What a situation, maybe heart.
No. What a situation.
Why don't we just all hop on our instruments and just play one full song? I don't think it would do good for the audience.
But she also said sing some Silk Sonic. So
What?
Nobody look. See, this is the sibling band. We rehearse so much that's like anytime it's like not. It's like what? What are you exactly?
Let's do.
What a situation for sure, and then what else? Maybe the chorus. It's
Okay,
like the way if you know the key.
This is a little. No.
You said no.
Okay, we're right here now. This is an unreleased song that we're so excited to do. It's probably one of our most popular, and it's crazy because it's unreleased.
But it's
gonna be on the documentary. You'll see it on the performance, like the first song that we do. It's called "What a Situation," and
it comes in from it center.
It comes in from its
Oh
center.
yes.
So let's go. Hit it. Play a little louder. All vocals. 3, 4. 1, 2. It's in my nature. Puts me in danger. What a situation. It's in my nature. Puts me in danger. What a situation. It's in my nature. Puts me in danger. What a situation. It's in my nature. Puts me in danger. What a situation. That was not a good fit.
I mean, it was a good vocal.
that was beautiful. Wait, why did you stop so soon? Like
I stopped playing guitar because I can't. I look. See, everything has to be precise. we're like perfectionists.
Baby, come back in. 1, 2, hit the note.
What's up?
1,
No,
2,
play that first note on piano.
3, 4.
I have
No.
great pitch.
She has great pitch. Memphis has perfect pitch. She just denies it. 1, 2,
Wait, now
3,
now
2, 1. Now that I put it all together, give me the chance to make you see. Have you used up all the love in your heart? Doom, doom, doom. Boom, boom, boom. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool
you could see there was something and everything about you. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong and I just can't live. I was wrong and I just can't live. I was wrong and I just can't live.
Okay, at least look. I wish we had all the instruments, but like at least the vocals are like, you know.
Thank
pretty
you.
all
Oh my gosh. I was like holding back tears, real life. Like, and I just like was overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, like they're singing like live, and you guys' harmonies are so tight, and you guys sound so good together. And like,
Thank you so much.
just who you are as people, it just adds to it. It really does. So,
Thank you.
Wow.
You're so amazing. We
Thank you.
really
Yes,
appreciate
this has been really fun.
Like, wow.
wow, thank you
we're
so much.
You have to be in the Fly music video.
We're gonna have,
please.
yes,
Like,
yes.
pop
You're gonna
up.
have to be in the
Pop
Fly
up.
music video.
You have to.
Yes.
Maybe we'll start it like she could like maybe. Oh!
Wait.
Okay. Believe me, I have an idea right now.
Okay.
I just know you have to be in the video. You have to.
I would be so down. Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Let's make it happen. Let's make it
I would-
happen. Let's make it happen.
I would be the tree stump in the video.
No,
Like I would
no, stop. Not the tree stump.
whatever, whoever needs like different parts, you know,
You can
any
be the
part.
main character.
The lead.
Yes. So like the plot that we had originally was that it was a deaf man trying to express to a hearing woman, like, I feel like you're everything. Like, you know, I feel like
Aw.
you're everything. And so like the whole video is just different ways he's trying to do that. And then like the end of the video, he's just doing it as himself. Like, you know, just like signing it to you and like, so like you could be the main character. You could be the lead.
I would be so down. Don't
cast,
play with me.
cast.
You've been cast.
Cast.
You'll receive your confirmation.
Right?
No, that's so funny because literally I was thinking about that. I don't know why. I was like just in my bathroom and I was like, everybody asks like, and I was just joking, but I was like, everybody asks like, how you doing? But not like, will you be the lead of my music video? Like,
Right.
I want to be
We're the first. We're the first.
the
In our music video, please. So,
That would be so cool. And I haven't been to no, I have been to the Bay. My brother, he lives out in LA, so it's an easy trip.
It's an easy. Let's do it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
make it happen.
Where are you from?
I'm from Michigan.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah, born and raised, Grand Rapids. So I'm like 2 hours away from Detroit.
Ooh. Hey, you gotta come, like, make a trip. Come on.
Oh man, I would love that. That's like done deal.
Yay! It's gonna happen,
It's
guys.
gonna happen.
Yay!
Yes, I'm so serious too. That'll be amazing. Cause man, the way that I played that song, I was just playing it too. Cause I was promoting this interview. I was like, y'all, like, come on, like this is an interview with MeloDious. And, da, da, da. And everyone's like, what is this song? It's always like that song that they're always like, what is this? Yeah, you did your big one. You're a huge one. But anyways, I'm like holding you guys over. But thank you so much again for this interview. And I would love for you all to just plug yourself, like promote everything right now, please.
All right. At This Is MeloDious on all platforms. We have a doc coming out on Friday. So if you want that behind the scenes and like just look at the project, what we have coming out, what we got, you know, behind the scenes in tune or in store, not in store. In tune is like in store, but musically in tune. At This Is MeloDious. So this is MeloDious on everything.
People can find our album. Is it the way by MeloDious on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, iHeartRadio,
Title, whatever you
TikTok,
listen to music on.
Instagram, a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
Did you have anything else?
that was it.
That was it.
Okay.
Hey, stream
Yeah,
the album. Stream the album.
Yeah, stream the album, man. And like I told you all, I was like, because when I posted on my story, I know you guys were so grateful and just like so sweet about it, but I was like, this is not it. Like, man.
I remember I woke up and I was like, this girl like posted all of our music on her story.
Yeah, she ran. I was asleep, and she ran to my room. And she was like, posted.
I was like, guys, look. So we were just super juiced about it, and just especially because it was our first project, there was a lot of anxiety that we had about releasing it and just being like, how people take it, you know, like will they like it, will they like accept it, and then just the response that we've received is like we're just too great. Like no words. So grateful for it.
Mm.
Man.
Yeah, shout out to your fans. Shout out to the people who are sharing it with others. And like, I want to see like so many streams on Spotify because that's what I primarily use.
I do
And
too.
so when I go back to the album, I'm always like, okay, so where are they at now? Like, we gotta get it to like, past the 1,000 mark.
We gotta get it up there. So that's the goal. Is just stream the album, please.
Yes.
We release this. Oh, well, we were releasing a vinyl. Yes, we're thinking of Christmas time vinyl drop. So around the holiday season, you might see some vinyl from MeloDious.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I need that. I'll pay out of pocket for that. I'm so excited.
No, you're gonna get a signed copy for free.
Signed copy, music video, main character. You get it all.
The full package.
Full package.
Right here.
Well, I'll buy one for my dad or something. This is amazing. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. Catch me in the Fly music video,
yes,
y'all.
Coming soon.
This is so cool. Anything else you guys wanted to say or like leave the people with?
Just thank you for like taking the time to watch this, to listen, to find out about a small band from the Bay.
And then we wouldn't be able to do anything.
Oh, like this
without
is our sister Mercy. Mercy, say hi.
our
This is
bundle.
our Michael Jackson.
Oh,
And this is our kitty Olivia. Say hi, Liv.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Liv.
I
So
love she's in a box.
okay, last
Why are you
little
just
story.
staring at me? Stare at the camera.
Last little story. This is the addition to our family. We found her under our car. Thanks to Leo, our drummer. They convinced our mom to let us keep the cat. Him and our friend Marlo.
Shout out to Leo.
Shout out to Leo and Marlo. And so we discovered her. She was malnourished, and she's kind of like made this entire album process better because we would come
Emotional
home.
support.
Yes, emotional support. Because we would come home so tired and stressed from this album, and then we like, "Where's Olivia? Where's Olivia?" And then everybody's so happy because she's here now. She's trying to
She's
escape.
scared of the guitar, so she's gonna
Yeah,
that is a beautiful cat.
Thank
Thank you.
So that's our final message is just to just do things with people you love, like that's what we're doing. We love each other. We're doing music,
I would hope so.
On that note,
Yeah.
and we're so thankful to you, like amazing music curator, DJ, just like your stuff. You're such an amazing individual, amazing energy, and you just made this such a beautiful experience for us. We were so excited. It's been on our calendar, like since you put it up. It's been on our calendar.
Man, no, I received that. Thank you so much. And yeah, you're absolutely welcome. And I'm just glad that now the relationship is like initiated, and yeah, because you guys are solid, and I just really like had so much fun talking to you. And I hope that so many more people find this, and I'll continue to promote you guys because the music is good anyways.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Like if it wasn't good, like what was there going to be to talk about? So yeah, I just love it because it's just solid, like the project itself. And as a music nerd, I'm always like, okay, is there an interview? Like, can I get to know them more? So now people have
there
that.
is.
Yeah.
People have that. So we
Mhm.
appreciate you. We thank you so much for this. Like this has just been great.
You're so welcome. I'm so bad at ending live streams.
Oh,
But anyways, I guess I'll do my outro.
Okay, we'll just bye guys.
No, it's okay. You can stay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this interview and really just conversation with MeloDious about their newest album and just who they are. And I'm just so glad that you all are able to see exactly what I felt and like could just visualize from hearing their album. And yeah, I hope that you learned something new and that you're going to go stream their album because it really is worth all the hype that I'm giving it right now. So be well, take care, and you guys can check out more Soul Sugar Joint stuff on TikTok, on Instagram, and I have more videos coming soon here on YouTube. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. All right, I'm ending the broadcast. Oh.